Hi guys, it's pretty dull and murky at the moment in Bulgaria. It is wet at this time of the year anyway, traditionally. Um, so, um, and it can go on into June as well, where we can get some quite heavy downpours. So, someone just mentioned, what could you do in Bulgaria? Um, Now, a lot would depend on what you've got behind you, or what you're prepared to maybe sell up and give it a go, or if you're just going to try and build something up over the years, which is like what I did. Um, Now, there's various things you can do in all these European um, countries. One of them, a common one, is obviously to teach English. You know, I know some guy who teaches English in Sofia. He's an Irish guy, and he's very happy there. Actually, he loves it, and so that's number one is teaching English. Now, second one is another quite obvious one is renovating properties, which was a thing back in the early 2000s. It was the rave, the place in the sun and all that, no going back, and every other program was about property development abroad and a home as well, grand designs, you name it. Homes under the hammer. That was mainly for the UK. Anyway, um, that's another one. Now, could you do that in Bulgaria? I would say yes. I would say there's scope for that. If you've, but you'd have to turn the places around and and do it quickly, probably. It depends what you've got behind you and what your skills are as well. If you've got building skills or you can manage the project and things like that. But you can do that's viable. You could do that if you bought in the right place, which is also important here. Um, you don't want to be in the middle of nowhere, really. You want to be, in a fairly decent place. So that's number two, renovating properties. Now, number three, another pretty common one that people do abroad, and that is buying properties to rent or have a guest house, something like that. I would say get like a guest house or some rental property, and try and get a big plot, and you could even do a few camping spots. That'd be a good one here. People are getting into the camping here. They never used to be, but they are now. And I also know there was an English couple who've had a camping site for a long, long time. Camping Veliko Turnovo. And they've been doing it for years and years. They were very early into Bulgaria. And I thought about it actually really at the same time ish. And that's another one. You could just do camping. And is the scope for that? Yeah, but you need to put all the infrastructure in and everything. It's not just as easy as that. You know what I mean? And if you can get a place with a big pond or near fishing, people like that. That would be viable, but that would take some investment. Again, it's what you've got behind you and what you could liquidate over in the UK or USA or wherever you may come from. But I would have a look at Bulgaria before you did that. See if it's for you, and have a good look around as well. into the, and you want to, those type of things, you want to put them in the right place, And another one you could do, if you like coming from a sort of, you didn't have that much to invest or behind you, you could do land clearance and combine that with cutting firewood. Actually, I mean, there's a demand for that. There really is. People around here are looking for people to cut the wood up and split it. If you get one of those log splitters, that's a good thing. Someone's got one actually in the road here, and so you'd have to look for somewhere like where you're not treading on anyone's toes. But yeah, you could do it. You could do that. And land clearance, if you got some good tools and that. So minimal investment, but that'll be for the young person, probably in a squad of two. You wouldn't want to be doing that on your own, I don't think. So you could do that. Another one, actually, there's a site I watch in Portugal, is house sitting. Now, I've never really heard of that in Bulgaria so much. Maybe the investors here haven't got that much money to be paying house sitters. I don't know, but I haven't heard. Maybe it's a thing, but like, it seems to be in Portugal. But maybe the investors there are like a bit more upscale than the people who invest in Bulgaria. We're the pound shop investors in Bulgaria, bottom of the scale. But to get probably some work in it and land clearance and you could do decorating. Depends on your skills. I mean, welding. You could certainly get by welding and stuff, metalworking. And if you've set up a little metalwork shop as well, you could do that. You could do that. And maybe some other little cottage industries like CFC machine. I've thought about doing that. And I might well get one. Like a CFC machine. It's like a 3D. It's not a 3D printer, but it's like an engraver. You can do various things with it on glass, on wood, depends what it's set up for and what you want to make and what you want to aim for. But yeah, something like that. You could do that. So that's another one you could do, like cottage industries. And if you're an artist and you can paint things and draw things, you could do that. And crafts, I think crafts would do well here. And people are setting up. We went to an architectural reserve last week, and they're doing crafts. And I've just been speaking to another guy that even just this morning. And there's a couple, they're Bulgarians, and they're setting up a craft centre. So, there was a big wave of that, wasn't there, in the UK, like candle making, stuff like that. That would do well here, probably. But yeah, candle factory, but and things like that. There's all sorts of things you can do and combine them probably. And one of the things that I always regretted doing, well, I haven't regretted doing much, but like I was always thinking like, oh yeah, I could have done that. Would have been a vineyard. And there's actually a few for sale now. So if anyone's interested in that, there's a vineyard for sale about 60 kilometres from here, around about the Levski area. And I think it's around about 14,000 euros. And you could actually do that and combine it with camping caravan site, and I could have done that, but I didn't. I actually got put off the camping thing, and I don't know why I didn't do that. But anyway, I've done okay anyway on other things, and perhaps now, I'm okay now for the time being anyway. But yeah, you could do that. So there's a few ideas, and I'm sure there's a lot more. The crafts is a good one. If you could get a local on board with you, which you possibly could. And there's good craft ideas in the UK. Actually, they got loads of good things like terrariums and stuff like that. You can make chess sets, and there's all sorts of good crafts suppliers. You don't see that many cottage industry crafts here, and it could be an opening here actually. And if you're good at art, people do things here like they get like very old these old roof tiles and they paint on them, and they're fantastic. I had a couple in the last house. I left them there actually because they went with the house. They were growing around. Yeah, but a vineyard. I mean, and that's pretty cheap for €14,000, and you could put like maybe a caravan on there. Don't know. I was going to go and have a look at it actually, but I haven't been. But that'd be a good one. I think, and maybe other things like even if you want to do like a homestead, like breed rabbits, or you can breed dogs as well. People actually breed truffle dogs here. I don't know where they do it, but you see them advertised, and they train them to look for the truffles, and they sell them. They sell the dog then trained up look for the truffles, which mainly grow in oak forests, which they grow over by the Turkish border, I think, right down there, called the Stranja. There's lots of oak forest there. That's where the truffles traditionally grow. But that's another one. And you can breed special dogs if you're into dogs and stuff like that. You could breed, the high end dogs, and they're into the little dogs here now, the little Pekingese and Chihuahuas and stuff like that. They love them. The new Posh and Becks people of the nouveau rich of Sofia, and they're always walking around with dogs and little tiny dogs. And you see the husband or the man, they've got to take him out for a walk in the early evening, and they're walking along with these Pekingese. After the Posh has had enough, take that dog out for a walk. Oh yes, dear. Anyway, that's you see the blokes out with them. After the girlfriend's been walking around with him, got fed up. And she's doing the nails now, and take the dog out, get out. But they're into the dogs, these show dogs, and you could do that. So there's a few ideas. I'm sure there's a lot more, but these are, I'd say, the ones I've mentioned are actually doable, And I should have done the. I had both of the ideas were on the cards of a vineyard and a campsite. Now you can easily combine the two, and that would be a good one. And a lot of people do stuff like that. They combine the jack of all trades, and a lot of them will have a job, and then they'll be the local welder as well, or the local whatever. But yeah, if you're good on the metalwork, start a metalwork shop and then contract out welding, and you could do that here. Now, none of these things are probably going to make you millions. Oh, the other one is online stuff. I mean, I'm having a go at that here. No, just for fun, really. Just to share a bit of interest, and I'm not trying to make make millions or anything like that. I just thought it'd be a good idea to share some of the stuff that I know about things and some opinions as well. Actually, it's good to share your opinions, see what people think. But you could do that online if you're good on the computers and that. That'd be a good one. And if you can repair computers and phones, that would be a good one as well. And you definitely have some clients there. And so a digital nomad, I think there's a lot of them come here anyway, because it's cheap to be here. So for them, it's, there are places around that the co-workers places and all that. And I think a lot of that is kind of very, very hard to make money, I think. Some do, probably. These some of them are very good on Instagram and YouTube, and you could do that, But there's a great one called Almazen Kitchen, and that's in Serbia. And these guys are just in the woods cooking food, and they have millions of followers and millions of views, and it's very well presented and very well choreographed and very professionally filmed. But at the same time, it's just cooking in the woods and cooking on, the open fire. And but they're very good. But they get millions and millions of views. Almazen Kitchen, look it up. That's an idea. And I suppose if you're a chef, you could get work chefing, definitely. In the tourist places, they're kind of short of staff. Maybe in hotels and that. You could certainly do that. You'd probably have to learn a bit of the language quite quickly. But that's another thing you could do. The chef, that'd be a good one. So we hope there are a few good ideas, and a lot of them I would say would be doable, but you probably need something behind you. Coming here from a cold start, skint with no money at all, you may struggle. You may struggle. It'd be better off for people who are selling up, or they got a few grand behind them. Even $5,000, $10,000 will get you going, But you'd have to move yourself. But yeah. So I hope there are a few pointers, anyone, a few ideas I would look at anyway. I've renovated about 4 properties here, and I've sold them all now. And, well, including this one, and I part renovated this one. So when it'll be finished is anyone's guess, because I'm staying here now. So I'm in no rush, really, to do anything drastic. I do some other things as well, but I don't really want to broadcast them or on the nothing illegal, but I don't want to broadcast. Not everyone does. I don't want to share every part and nook and cranny in my life, because everyone knows what you're up to then, don't they? And not that I'm up to anything, but if you know what I mean, and what you've got behind you and all the rest of it, and I'm just not going to share that. And people don't. Okay, hope that's helpful to someone anyway. Okay, cheers. Thank you.